What's up guys, I'm BRAVExHERO and today we're talking about the Titan overshields. We're going to be talking about a build that's going to allow you to take full advantage of the overshield in multiple ways. We'll be talking about how to optimize this build, the synergy around each piece of this build, and lastly, how to get the most out of this build in PvP. But before we get into the video, guys, 80% of you are not subscribed to this YouTube channel. So if you like the content, you want to see more content from me, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. But with that, let's get into the build. If you've played Destiny 2 The Witch Queen at all since launch, then you probably have seen Titans running around with overshields. Well, that's because of the aspect Bastion. Now, when utilizing this aspect, you'll be granted an overshield in two different ways. Number one, when you utilize this aspect and you use your super, you'll be granted an overshield and so will nearby allies. And number two, casting your barricade grants overshield to yourself and nearby allies. It also empowers it, enabling it to slowly regenerate the overshields of allies bunkering behind it and extend their overshield duration. This aspect alone took the best thing about Titans and made it even stronger. Also with Void 3.0, you're able to utilize two aspects, and the second aspect we want is the aspect offensive Bulwark. When you have an overshield or inside Ward of Dawn, grenades charge significantly faster, you have increased melee range and damage, and melee final blows extend the duration of your overshield. You also gain an additional shield throw for your Sentinel super. One of the key takeaways from offensive Bulwark is while you have an overshield, grenades charge significantly faster. As you can tell, this is a very significant benefit, and this is why we want to have our overshield as often as possible. This works extremely well with any grenade heavy builds, and you can also pair this alongside something like the perk Demolitionist on your weapons, thus allowing you to get your grenades more frequently. And lastly, when you have an overshield active, you'll be dealing about 121 damage per melee. Keep in mind that Bastion is only a 45 point overshield, so nothing too crazy. It can boost your survivability. Lastly, if you want to take full advantage of any overshield, you want to utilize the aspect Echo of Persistence. This is going to increase your overshield duration. Now, for those wondering, Echo of Persistence increases your overshield time by 5 seconds. And yes, guys, this stacks with any overshield in the game. All overshields will be extended by 5 seconds. Now, before we get into the final two fragments, let's talk about our exotic armor for today's video. Now, the Titan exotic for today's video is going to be the no backup plans, and that comes with the exotic perk Force Multiplier. When you have full void melee energy, shotgun final blows grant a void overshield and consume your melee energy. Shotgun final blows also give you melee energy. Now, this is a fun exotic to use, especially if you're someone who likes to shotgun a lot. When you have a full melee charge and you shotgun an enemy, if you kill them, you'll consume your melee energy, and this will grant you a 45 point overshield. Now, any shotgun final blow you get will give you melee energy. As you can tell, the synergy just within the gauntlets is there. As you can tell, you're able to generate an overshield in two different ways, either with no backup plans or by popping your Titan barricade, both of which are going to grant you a 45 point overshield. And yes, for those wondering, when you activate the overshield from the no backup plans, Echo of Persistence kicks in and adds an extra 5 seconds of that. And lastly, when that overshield is active, offensive Bulwark will be active as well, giving you a faster grenade cooldown, increased melee damage, and range. Now let's finish this build off with the last two fragments. We're going to want a lot of synergy, guys, and we're going to want to use the fragment Echo of Exchange. Melee final blows grant grenade energy. So since you have offensive Bulwark active, you're going to have increased melee damage and range. When you get final blows, that's going to give you even more grenade energy. And yes, if that overshield is still active, you'll gain even more grenade energy. Now, the last fragment we want on our character is going to be Echo of Bleaching. Melee final blows start health regeneration for you and nearby allies. Look, these are just overshields. They're 45 point overshields. They're not health regeneration. So we're going to want to use a fragment that's going to help boost our health regeneration, and that's what Echo of Bleaching does. Now, let's cover the final thing, and that's going to be the melee. You have a choice between Shield Throw and Shield Bash. If you're going to be utilizing no backup plans, I highly recommend you use Shield Bash. If you decide to utilize Shield Throw, every time you throw your Void Shield, this will consume your melee energy, and by doing so, no backup plans will not be able to activate. Personally, I found a lot of viability out of utilizing Shield Bash. And no guys, I didn't bash my opponents. I utilized Shield Bash as a movement mechanic, being able to bash your shields and make you move a little bit faster or behind an enemy. As you can tell, there's a lot of synergy going on, from utilizing your wall and activating an overshield, or by getting a shotgun final blow and activating an overshield, all of which are going to activate offensive Bulwark. And by doing so, you're going to have a faster grenade cooldown, you're going to have increased melee damage and range, and any melee final blows extend the duration of your overshield. And let's not forget that each fragment you have on your character, Echo of Exchange, Echo of Persistence, and Echo of Bleaching, all synergize extremely well with this Titan overshield build. My best advice that I can offer to you if you're going to be utilizing this build in PvP is to be patient. You have a 15-second overshield. There's no reason you shouldn't wait to recover your health 100% before you get into the next fight. If you decide to challenge your next enemy with just an overshield and low health, you're probably going to lose that engagement. But if you wait to fully recover to your 200 point max health and a 45 point overshield, there's a high probability that you're going to win that next engagement. This is why I say patience is key. Wait to recover first to take full advantage of this overshield. Something a lot of players don't talk about is utilizing your overshield and your Titan barricade properly. One of the most significant ways I found to utilize the Titan wall and overshield is to treat it similar to a well healing rift, being able to step in and out of cover to fight and going back to heal yourself for that 45 point overshield. But with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you have any builds you want me to try out, you can find the link to my community Discord down below. Join up and jump into the build section and DM me the builds. Remember, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on all notifications. I appreciate you guys hanging out today. You have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.